Because from the Montessori Council meetings last time we've had, a lot of children wanted to know a bit more about the deaf community, so I went in to visit schools with deaf units and interviewed deaf people there. And I feel like it's really important for children to learn a bit more about the deaf community, because you never know, one day you are going to meet someone who is deaf. Some has said it's really good to be deaf because they get to have both deaf and hearing friends, which means they are best of both worlds. But as well, when they go to sleep, it is completely peace and quiet, which they really enjoy because it means they don't have to listen. But some of them have said sometimes they don't like being deaf because they feel like it makes them stand out a bit more, especially when they wear their hearing aids or cochlear implants. But as well, they get really tired throughout the day, and sometimes they feel like their teachers don't understand what it's like being deaf because they tend to tune out in the classroom, which can have an impact on their learning. Well, a lot of people have said their parents are really supportive of them because they try to push them to achieve their best potential, but at the same time, young people feel like they wish their parents could have learned sign language or put a bit more effort into communicating with them more. But that is why they like going to deaf unit, because they hang out with people who are deaf themselves, which means they can communicate easily. And often when they go over to people's houses, they tend to forget to put subtitles on, but they don't feel comfortable asking because they don't want to bother them. But then lastly, in their friendships group, they are often the only deaf person there out of the whole friends, and sometimes they can be quite left out, but generally they do feel quite supported. Well, some have said wearing hearing aids or cochlear implants are comfortable, although they have said it can get a bit uncomfortable because they tend to wear it for a long period of time, not 12 hours a day, so it can get really uncomfortable at the end. But what they all have said is they like to go home and they take it off so they can have a little bit of listening break because they get a bit tired listening to people the whole day. Some has said yes, some has said no. Some has said yes, although you would need to be facing them so they can assess your face. Although some has said no because it depends on background noise, your accent. If you have a beard, if you have a moustache, or if you have a mask on, then they find it very difficult to read people. And this is why some deaf people have different support. So some might like a note taker because it helps them to understand their topics better. Or some people might have a signer in their classroom because it helps them to understand. It depends. So if people wear hearing aids or cochlear implants, they can either hear high frequency or low frequency or in between. Although people who are deaf do not wear hearing aids or cochlear implants, sometimes they can feel sound, although they will feel vibrations more. So if you went up to a speaker and you touch it, they will feel it, although they wouldn't be able to hear it. Well, that's a really interesting question because I've had quite mixed responses to this. So some have said no because they feel quite included in their school, as it's what an inclusive school, so they don't get bullied. But some have said they've experienced bullying in their mainstream school, and in effect they had to move to a deaf unit school. So it seems like if you are in an inclusive school, the bullying seems minimal. But as well, when they go out in public, people tend to look at their hearing aids, cochlear implants, or look at their signing, and they feel really uncomfortable. But actually they don't mind if people ask what is it that they're wearing, what is it that they're communicating in, because it's better than being looked at.